Good morning, my loves. The way you spend your mornings really sets the tone for the rest of your day. And I don't think we realise how much our nervous system is being affected by the way that we all spend our mornings. I would say maybe a year and a half ago, I used to wake up, rush around, get ready for work, scroll on social media, get ready as quickly as I could, drinking caffeine on an empty stomach, and doing 1,000 things at once. I was literally this meme every time I left the house, and I never actually realised how much that was affecting my focus, my stress levels, and the impact that my mornings had on the rest of my day. So instead of trying to recreate somebody else's that girl routine, I've been focused on building a more slow and intentional morning routine which regulates my nervous system, aids my sleep cycle, and overall just habits that make me feel calmer, more grounded, and healthier. I'm a firm believer that mornings don't need to be hyper-productive or look like somebody else's to be perfect. They just need to support your mind, your routine, and your body instead of immediately stressing out as soon as you wake up. So today, I'm taking you through my kind of science-based morning routine for calmer, more intentional mornings to relax your nervous system. Let's get into it. Our morning routine doesn't just start when we start brushing our teeth. It starts as soon as we wake up. And one of the biggest things that's helped me is waking up at the same time every day. A lot of you guys already know I wake up to the natural light. I have been sleeping with one curtain closed at the moment though, because the sun has actually been blinding me in my eyes the past few weeks when it's been really sunny, and I don't want the UV damage. So the sun's been waking me up every morning, and because our bodies thrive on consistency, having a more regular wake up time every single day helps regulate your circadian rhythm as well as your energy levels, sleep quality, and even hormone function. One thing I definitely don't do is check my phone first thing. I used to be so bad for this, but your brain is incredibly sensitive as soon as you wake up in the morning. So immediately consuming notifications and just like useless information that puts your nervous system into reaction mode before your day has even started. For example, say if you checked your email notifications first thing in the morning and you got declined a job offer that you really wanted, that might set your tone for the day. I realized I was waking up and instantly consuming other people's thoughts, ideas, social medias, and energy before I'd even checked in with myself in the morning. So now we get out of bed, we hydrate, we wake up slowly, and I'll get the natural sunlight in my eyes as early as I can. Going back to morning sunlight signals to your brain that it's time to wake up, which then helps you fall asleep later on in the evening. And honestly, it just makes me feel more awake naturally. Another thing I've been trying to prioritize is hydration before caffeine. Your body becomes dehydrated overnight, so instead of immediately shocking my system with a coffee or a matcha, I've been trying to wake up my body more gently first. Lately, I've been really enjoying some hot lemon water in the mornings. Before that, I used to be an iced drinks girl through and through, but I've also been reading a lot into Chinese medicine, and Chinese medicine encourages warming and nourishing the body first thing in the morning instead of immediately consuming ice cold drinks. Especially as a woman, Chinese medicine says we need to keep our womb warm, so drinking ice cold water first thing in the morning is never a good idea. I used to be someone that would blast heavy rap music every single morning as soon as I got out of bed, but you would never catch me doing that anymore. It's definitely been normalized to be constantly stimulated from the second we wake up. I used to be that person that needed to watch something while she was getting ready, while she was cleaning her room, and I felt like I was just always needing background noise or just something there. And don't get me wrong, I love me a podcast. I do love listening to things in the background, but being more intentional and appreciating that I can go without background noise has made a big difference. So in the morning while I'm doing my skincare, instead of listening to music or something heavy, I like to either put on my affirmations or some frequency music, because I know that's going to regulate my nervous system and that's what helps me feel calm, as opposed to rap music, for example. If you've been here a while, you guys already know how much I love to journal, and I think this is one of the most important steps of my routine and what's genuinely changed my mindset the most. So taking even just 10 minutes to journal, pray, express gratitude, or just sit quietly with my thoughts in the morning always helps me feel grounded before the outside world starts demanding things from me. It's easy to carry a lot of mental noise within your head, even without realizing it. So journaling definitely gives my mind some place to be before the day begins. Today we just did a little brain dump, got everything I needed out of my head, written on paper. and did a little bit of gratitude alongside that too. I just love how it slows me down to actually become aware of how I'm feeling instead of rushing straight into productivity mode. A high protein breakfast is an absolute non-negotiable in my routine, and I will always try and have it in the first 60 minutes of waking up. I don't do fasted workouts, I don't fast. You'll never catch me fasting, just because it doesn't work for me and my body. I am hungry as soon as I get out of bed. And I'll also make sure I'll eat before I drink any caffeine. This will make such a big difference to your energy levels and focus throughout the day, instead of getting that quick spike and crash from caffeine on an empty stomach. I've realised that starting the day with proper nourishment just helps my body feel more regulated overall, instead of running on stress hormones and caffeine. Again, just being able to sit in silence whilst I'm eating and not having to watch something makes me feel so calm. Sometimes I'll read, but for the past few weeks especially, I've been trying not to watch anything whilst I eat my breakfast, because just being able to sit with yourself and your thoughts will ground you so much. Moving on to the work section, another thing I've been focusing on is creating before I consume. Before I scroll on social media, before I'm allowed to go on my phone, I try to get clear on what actually matters to me today. So I'll write down my top 3 priorities. Literally just 3 things that I know if I get them done, I'll feel accomplished. I realise when I don't do this, my attention just gets pulled into so many different directions. I end up multitasking and just trying to do 100 things at once. So I feel like I've been busy all day, but I haven't been productive enough for it to be meaningful. I always try and do my most mentally demanding things at the start of my day, and anything that requires more of a deeper focus, as I just have the most energy in the mornings. I've only started doing this the past couple of weeks, but I feel so much less overwhelmed and so much more in control of my time. For me, being able to identify 3 things that I want to get done that day before I even touch my TikTok For You page grounds my nervous system into thinking, yes, you're in control. And the final step of my morning routine is getting movement in. I cannot stress this enough, whether it's a walk, yoga, strength training. Get some movement in the morning and you'll feel 10 times better at the end of the day. It regulates my stress levels, improves my mood, and helps me reconnect with my body. Even just light movement in the morning makes such a difference to my energy levels and how I feel throughout the rest of the day. And it doesn't just help me physically, it also helps me mentally. It helps release any tension from my sleep or stress I didn't realise I was holding on to when I woke up. When I don't work out in the morning, I definitely feel more sluggish and more stagnant. When I do, I feel like everything just flows so much better. And as I said, sometimes it's a full heavy workout, sometimes it's just a light walk in the park. But either way, it's such a grounding part of my routine and releases a lot of happy hormones to help me feel regulated. So that is my morning routine. This routine isn't about being perfect or having some aesthetic morning routine that only looks good for social media, but it's a routine that doesn't make your brain think they're in survival mode as soon as they wake up. So when I start my mornings with calm energy, slowness, and intention, everything else just feels easier to handle. So if there's one thing you take from this video, it's that your mornings don't have to be rushed or overwhelming to be productive. And the best routine for you is one that suits you and your lifestyle. I really hope this video was helpful to you guys and gave you a little bit of inspiration for your own routine.